Hello, if you hear noises in the background,
No, you don't.
I'm not watching YouTube, you're watching YouTube. Haha. Anyway, this is a speed paint video. I don't know how I'm gonna edit this video or how this video is gonna turn out until the end, so enjoy, I guess. I don't know. I just wanna talk. Talk. I don't know, I'm insane, guys. I'm going insane. Ha. So, I have no clue what I'm doing. Just wanna be clear. No clue what I'm doing. I'll do something. I'll figure something out. Hey, editing whiteout here. I forgot to give context. So, the context for this video is that I am working on a pretty big project. Originally was going to be a video game, but is now probably going to be a book, depending on the resources I have. Because I found out the game and thing I was going to use is only available on Android, and my Android tablet is crap. So basically, this is a world inspired by Enna and a bunch of other random stuff, Steven Universe random stuff, and these are the two main characters, Sunny and Moony, and I think that's all the context you need. I could be wrong. Feel free to ask questions, of course. Now back to the video. Let's just get started. I can't speak. Oh my gosh. Ah! This is why you shouldn't eat spicy food before a voiceover. So, first off, we're gonna start with Saturn, who is an ancient planet, meaning she is even higher than suns and moons, which are higher than asteroids, comets, stars, etc. And she is, I don't know how many times she's gonna appear. I think she's only gonna appear once, but I don't know. Yeah. Just so you know, I am not recording this video in order, so if things are weird, that's why. I had a little bit of a struggle with the colors of her design because I didn't look at a reference image of Saturn, but that's okay, So she might not be 100% accurate. Don't come at me. I don't care. Okay? It's not supposed to make sense.
And if you wonder what I mean by not supposed to make sense, well, this is an Enna-inspired universe, and I wanted it to be a little bit random and wild.
Is this a good time to mention I like to change my voice a lot when I speak? Because if that's gonna annoy you, I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna stop doing it, because that's just part of me and what I do.
Feel free to write me a really long hate comment about how you hate my voice, because honestly, I don't care.
Anyway, back to the art. So the rings around her face are supposed to hide her features, that's why I didn't give her any. They're supposed to be, like, spinning wildly and randomly, kind of like the actual rings of Saturn, which I did not know until my friend told me that Saturn's rings do that. But yeah, so if you're wondering why you can't see her face, that's why. I also just thought it would make her look more mysterious and stuff. I don't know. By the way, this is a painting of her because it was for the book I write. Yes. I don't know how to explain it. Just go with it. I hate how short the speed paints are, but whatever. We're done with Saturn! Next up is Eclipse, which is a redesign of a character, specifically that little ugly creature in the corner. It's disgusting. But anyway, I don't know if I'm going to use this character in the story. I'm still debating it. But, basically, this character is the combination of Moony and Sunny. They fuse together, like Steven Universe characters. So, in the story, Sunny and Moony are both 10 years old. One is a moon, one is a sun, yada yada yada. And when they choose to, they are able to fuse into Eclipse, who is the, height of a adult, I guess. So, a lot of characters mistake them for, like, you know, some random character, some random adult person, and they're like, no, we are actually 10 years old, and everyone's like, that's a really tall 10-year-old, because I thought it'd be funny. And before any weirdos, come and say, weird stuff about 10-year-olds, don't. This has nothing to do with adult themes. I just thought it'd be funny. I don't know. Not to mention, this is not a safe place for weirdos who like kids. Get away from me. You know, you wouldn't think that, like, you wouldn't think I'd have to say that, but sadly I do. Oh well. Anyway, for this new design, I gave Eclipse a new name. So before they were named Nova, now they're Eclipse. And I mostly kept, like, their colors similar. I made them have, like, an Eclipse face, you know? I love this design a lot better. Yeah. I think you can definitely see some Steven Universe inspiration in this design a little bit with the head. It is kind of rose flower-like, which I kind of was thinking of when I drew it. So, like, I don't know, but I really like, the flower-like head, and I really, really, really like, how I did the outfit. So, I kept the outfit mostly the same from the old design because I really loved the outfit, but also I felt like having multiple arms was just a little bit busy, so I got rid of them. So, here's Eclipse. I hope you like them. I love them, personally. You're such a good boy. You're such a good boy, Dexter. Dexter, Dexter, Dexter. Dexter, Dexter, Dexter. I gotta film, Dexter. I gotta film. Well, record my voice. But I gotta work. Even though, technically, I don't. Mwah. I love you, Dexter. Next, we have a painting of Blaze and Sunny. So, this one is not really lore or character related much. It's just a child Blaze and a child Sunny, because they were both very abused in their childhood, in their stories. But the difference is Sunny came out of it, Blaze pushed her abuse onto Sunny. You know, the cycle of abuse where one person gets abused and then they push that abuse onto their other people, which is really sad when you think about it, but, like, I don't know. By the way, I will mention, in this story, there is, child abuse, because part of the story is about growing up and how certain people will force you to grow up, and so, like, if you're kind of sensitive to that, then, probably not the best story for you. Though I will say that's not, like, the main point of the story, it is a big part of it. Blaze is a big factor in how Sunny acts and behaves. She pushes him to do his English. She pushes him to his very limits, to the point where he breaks a lot, and I think that's an important part of the story and how I want it to be seen. Also, with Blaze, I have made it in her backstory that we might get to see, we might not, or, well, you guys. She was also heavily abused as a child, and, while I do agree that's not an excuse or a reason to abuse, a child, I do want it to be known that she isn't just supposed to be, oh, she just is so evil, blah, 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 because that's not the point of the story that I'm trying to, like, make. I just wanted it to be known that she also is, a victim, because victims can be abusers, and I think people forget about that a lot. Here's the finished piece of art. I like it, a lot. Next up is a villain. The main villain, to be exact. Meet 01, the character I used for the intro, most of the intro of this video. He is, the main villain, and he is very code-like, because that's, because, I don't know, I thought it'd be cool, and it fit his original backstory, which I'm thinking of changing, his backstory, just because, like, I don't know if I'm gonna make this a game, which was the original intent, was to make this a game, but now I'm thinking of making it a book, but I don't know fully yet. It depends on what resources I have, and according to the resources I have now, it's going to be a book so far. So there's not much to say on him yet. His backstory will depend on what I do with the characters, if I make a game or a book. Here is the full drawing. What's next? Well, I'm glad you ask. A bit more lore this time. The characters I'm going to be drawing here are Ray and Nynx, Ray being the sun at the time, and Nynx being the moon at the time. So basically, Ray hated Nynx. Nynx had a crush on Ray, though. Don't know how. But anyway, the lore here is that Ray hated Nynx, and she wanted Nynx out of her leader position. Because, if you remember, moons and stars lead different celestial people. Did I tell you that? I don't know if I told you that. Basically, suns rule over stars, and moons rule over comets and asteroids. But anyway, so Ray was one of the newer suns when, and Nynx had been leader longer than her, and she was mad because Nynx had proposed to Ray. She had proposed that they make peace or friendships with the Beneathlands people, which are the people who don't live in the sky, basically. And Ray saw this as weakness, and when she saw this as weakness, she did not like that. She always had hated Nynx, always found her weak, but especially now that she wanted to make friends with like Beneathlands people, because she saw the Beneathlands people as weak, as not worthy of their time and attention. So Ray goes to Saturn and is like, hey, can you kick Nynx out of her position as a leader? Like, make Nynx's heir the new leader, and I, because he's still a kid, I will teach him what I know. And and Saturn's like, no, nuh-uh. So Ray gets mad and decides, what best way to get rid of someone? Start a war. So Ray starts a war between the stars and the sun and stars and the moon, comets, and asteroids. And Nynx is pretty shocked at this, because she thought they were friends and even had a crush on Ray a little bit. They are around the same age, by the way. It's just that one of the leaders had died sooner than the other, but whatever, we won't get into that. And so Ray ends up killing Nynx and making asteroids, comets, kind of like lower class citizens, while stars get to be the rich people. They get to be, better than everyone else. And that's kind of like how it is, in the present. There are no more moons, or so they think in the present, because they thought they had killed off the entire moon population afterwards, because Ray sucks, if you couldn't tell. But they didn't. One or two escaped to the Beneathlands, and that's where Moony lives, in the beginning of the story. So, yeah, lore! Also, I just want to say, I love both of their designs so much. Also, just a little bit of an explanation. Suns and stars are born in a star nursery. A new sun is born every 10,000 years, and stars have shorter lifespans than suns. There are only ever 2 suns at a time, whereas moons, there are more than 2 moons, but there are only 2 moons who are able to rule at a time. A ruling moon and their heir, which is usually their child, because moons can give birth, but stars and suns cannot. I really hope you like my drawing. I like it. And that's the end of this video, because I don't have anything else right now to show you. I hope you enjoy, and I do have a question. If anyone, so I have written a little bit, and I'm getting help from my friend, of course, with writing it, Lazy Dreams, and I would love it if y'all would tell me if you guys would like me to read it or not once we have it, like the first few parts edited and stuff, because I would read it if y'all would like to hear it, but I know this is first big video on this channel, so it's probably not gonna get a lot of attention, but you never know, so I'm gonna ask anyway. So anyway, bye.